Yeah.
So you can guess what shape it is, right?
Yeah, a rectangle.
Yeah, rectangle. Okay, so go ahead and draw it. Then I'll okay, so I'm not going to switch on my light yet. There's one more question that I want you to attempt. Okay, so look at the third question. Okay, a cube can cast a shadow in the shape of a rectangle. True or false? I don't have a cube here. That's the problem. If I like a Rubik's cube or something, I would have shown it to you. A cube can cast a shadow in the shape of a rectangle. True or false? The third question of this exercise.
Uh,
Yes,
it is true.
yes, it is true. Do you know why? It's true.
No.
No. Anyways, I don't have a cube, otherwise I would have shown. Yeah. So the thing is, if you have a cube and you don't hold it exactly straight, like you hold it somewhat in a way that you are throwing the light on one of its edges. Okay, you are throwing a light like the one of the edges of the cube is pointing towards the flashlight. In that case, you will get a rectangle. Okay, I don't have a cube, otherwise I would have shown it to you. It's really interesting to see. Okay, the cube can cast a shadow in the shape of a hexagon. Yes, it can. And how can it cast a shadow in that shape? When one of the vertices, like one vertex of the cube is pointing towards the flashlight, in that case, the shadow will be in the shape of a hexagon. Do you have a Rubik's Cube at home, Hiba?
No. But I
No.
have that cube I made like some days ago. You gave a homework of.
Okay, very good. Yes. So do one thing. Uh, this is your homework. Write it down. Homework is to throw some light on a cube and try to change the orientation of the cube such that the shadow, like you can obtain a hexagonal shadow, or such that you can obtain a rectangular shadow. Okay, so you have to try both of these and let me know what you find. All right. Okay. Hiba. Um. Okay, never mind. It's Maghrib time, but I'll go after a few minutes. So let's do question number 2. Here are the shadows of some 3D objects when seen under some 3D objects. Okay, tell me one thing. What is the shape? Just compare the first question. Okay, you are throwing some shadow, or sorry, you are throwing some light on a ball, a cylindrical pipe. In our case, we threw some light on a tomato, um, a cylindrical box, a book, and so on. So tell me, these objects that we threw light on, these objects were 3D or 2D objects?
3D.
3D. Their shadows are of what dimension? 3D or 2D?
3D.
2D, yeah. Because shadows are flat. These objects are not flat. Something that is flat is 2D. Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
got it?
Yeah, I got it now.
Okay. So try to solve the second question.
Can you do this again, because the question is not in my textbook.
Oh, it's not? Okay. Here are the shadows of some 3D objects when seen under the lamp of an overhead projector. Okay, so overhead projector as in, like, basically there's a lamp and then there's some object, some 3D object. We don't know what object that is. And then there's a shadow. So they have given you the shadow. You have to tell which, what kind of an object it might have been. It could be any type of object. We don't know. They're saying there may be multiple answers for each of these. Okay. So one of them is a circle. So draw a circle. You know what? I'll just share my screen. Wait.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go. Let me just zoom in. Okay. Try to solve these, and I'm going to be back in 2 minutes. I hope that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm back. Hmm. Any luck yet? Any ideas?
I'm trying to do.
Okay. So let's think about it together. Hmm? Think about the first part together. If the shadow is in the shape of a circle, what could have been the 3D object?
A cap.
No, no. You have to tell about the shape of that object. Okay, but you're right. It can be a cap. But yeah, tell me, what could
A
the shape
circle.
of the object have been? The 3D object. What shape would the 3D object have been? 3D object can't be a circle. We just now discussed it, right? That a circle is flat.
Sphere.
Huh? Yeah, a
Sphere.
sphere. Yes, a sphere. And what about anything else? Any other options we have? Hmm?
A dice.
Uh, a dice. How will a dice have a circular shadow? I'm talking about the circle. If the shadow is a circle, just now we saw some objects, and two of those objects had a circular shadow. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Which two objects were they? What
A
was their
water
shapes?
bottle cap.
Okay, but what shape is a water bottle cap?
A sphere.
It's not a sphere.
Sorry.
Does it?
A circle.
What is the difference between a water bottle cap and a ball? Okay. Tell me, if I take a sheet of paper, a rectangular sheet of paper, and I fold it like how we usually fold newspapers or roll newspapers. If I roll it, what shape does it become?
Rectangle.
No, no, I am not folding it. I'm taking a sheet of paper and I'm rolling it.
A cylinder.
Yes, a cylinder. So a water bottle cap, just take a look at it very carefully. Okay. And tell me what shape, what 3D shape it is.
Cylindrical shape.
Yes, it is a cylindrical shape. Okay. Okay, so Hiba, again, we were discussing the second question of this exercise. So the first part of the second question, that when the shadow is a circle, then the 3D object could have been of what shapes? Okay, one of the shapes you said it could have been a sphere. Well, what else could it have been?
A cylinder.
Yes, exactly, a cylinder. Okay. I think that's about it. Yeah. Okay. What about the second part of the question? What if your shadow is the shape of a square? What do you think your 3D, what could have been the shape of the 3D object whose shadow we are talking about? Think.
A dice.
Okay, a dice is the object. I'm asking what could have been the shape of the 3D object. So just tell me the shape, okay? Don't tell me the object as such, tell me the shape.
Cube.
Yes, cube. And and
I can't think of anything else.
okay. What about a cuboid? What if you have a cuboid whose one face, so you have a cuboid, right? Like how many faces does a cuboid have?
A 6.
6, okay. So you have a cuboid and two opposite faces of the cuboid. Okay, so let's say the cuboid is like this. Okay, so there's like two faces over here, two faces up and down, and two faces that are facing each other like this. And let's say these both are squares. These two faces are squares. So when you hold it like this, okay, and you throw the light from this side, you hold the cuboid like this, the shadow will be forming on that side. What shape will the shadow be? Because these two faces are squares.
Square.
Yes. So your 3D object could have been a square also. Sorry, could have been a cuboid also in this case, right? In the case of a square. Are you getting it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Hmm. Wait. I'm not able to, like write on top of the PDF in this case. We used to have that option earlier, but I don't know where it went. Okay, anyway. And there's more, a square. So do you remember how I was showing you the cylindrical object, a cylindrical box, and when, like, what shape was the shadow of the cylindrical box in the first case?
Circle.
Okay, it was a circle, and what else? There were two different shadows of that object, right?
Rectangle.
Yes, a rectangle. So do you think it is possible to obtain a square shadow of some cylindrical object? Let me show you how. Let me show you. Okay. Let's say you have a cylindrical object. So let's say you have a cylindrical object like this. Okay, I haven't drawn it very perfectly, so just ignore that. Okay, now you are throwing light from here. So your light, you're throwing from here. So what shape will you get? It will be a rectangle, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm showing it from a perspective, that's why it doesn't look like a rectangle. But if you see it from in front of the object, it will be the shape of a rectangle. Okay. But let's say your cylindrical object is shaped like this. Wait. So let me just draw these ones. In this case, if you throw the light from here, what shape will you get?
A square.
Yes. Why will it be a square? Because this, the the part that is going to uh, give you a shadow
The square.
is this part, right? So that's why you'll get a square shadow. Understood?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now tell me what all were the answers in the case of the second one. In the case of a square shadow, what all could have been the shape of the 3D objects? Number one, cube,
Cuboid
cuboid,
and cylinder.
and cylinder. Very good. Okay. How about a square pyramid? Think about a square pyramid. You are throwing light from on top of the pyramid. What do you think the shadow will be?
A square.
Yes, very good. Excellent. So we have four answers for this, right?
Yeah. Cube, cuboid, cylinder, and a square pyramid.
Very good. Okay. Now let's take a look at the third one, which is a triangle. Okay. Uh, Let me see how much time we have. We have 20.
I have an
So
answer.
a triangle. Yeah, tell me.
So it's like a food. It's like rice wrapped in seaweed.
Once again, what?
It's like a food that's like that is like popular in Korea. That's like rice are wrapped in seaweed, and it be
Okay.
like and the shadow of it is triangle.
Okay, tell me this. Can you type it out? That food that you're talking about. Can you type it out in the chat box?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Hmm. No, I got that, but what's the name of it? You said there's a particular name of that thing.
Yeah, like rice are wrapped
Okay, I
in
can see,
seaweed.
I can see the emoji that you have typed, but what is it called? Like, does it have a specific name? You said some name, like in Korea, it's called something.
I don't know the name,
We don't know the name. Oh, that's the
but
issue.
I know what it is.
Okay, wait. Ah, I got it. Very good. Okay, so rice wrapped in seaweed. Tell me, what shape is it? Let me just see.
Triangle.
No, what shape is the original? object. What's the shape of this object? Let's say this object. This. What's the shape of this object? Hmm? Think about it. What's the shape? So you have two triangles. You have two triangles facing each other. Okay. Then the base is a rectangle, and then there are two rectangles on either side. So tell me. Hmm? Yes, Hiba? Hiba, are you there? Hiba.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, Hiba, can you speak now? Hiba, you're muted.
Yeah.
Yeah, now I can hear you. I think I wasn't able to hear you that time. Okay. So, my question was, what is that shape? Rice wrapped in seaweed.
Triangular shape.
Okay, it is. See, the thing is, here's what. First, tell me that rice wrapped in seaweed, that object. First of all, let's just see what it's called. Okay, Japanese rice balls. Oh, it's called onigiri. Fine. So that onigiri, that is a 3D object or a 2D object. Is it flat or is it solid?
It is a 2D object.
Sorry?
No, it is a 3D object.
It is a 3D object, right? Because it's not flat. It's not flat like a shadow. It's not flat like a sheet of paper, right? So it's a 3D object. Now, can a 3D object, first tell me a triangle. So all of these shapes, circle, square, rectangle, triangle, all of these basic shapes that we study in, kindergarten. These shapes are 3D shapes or 2D shapes?
3D.
What? A circle, rectangle, triangle, these shapes are 3D or 2D?
2D.
Yes. They are 2D shapes, right? They are flat. They're
I
flat
didn't
shapes.
hear you correctly.
Okay. So now my question is, what I was asking you was that object, that onigiri, that rice ball thing, you said it's a 3D object, right? But a triangle is a 2D object. So you can't say that it's a triangle. Clearly not a triangle because a triangle is flat. A triangle will be flat. It will be two-dimensional, right? It won't be a solid.
So,
As you can see, it is flat.
like, wait a minute.
Hmm.
A triangular prism.
Yes, it will be a triangular prism. Very good. Okay, fine. So,
Can it be a triangular pyramid also?
can it be a triangular pyramid? That shape, see, that shape won't be a triangular pyramid. I'll tell you why. Because as you can see, this object, okay, take a look at this object on the right. This object on the right, okay. There are two triangular faces. They are facing each other. The two triangular faces are facing each other. In a pyramid, you don't have the two faces that are facing each other. The two triangles are not facing each other in a pyramid. In a pyramid, you have one triangle as a base, right? Then on top of that, you have three triangles that are connected over here at the apex. So you don't have any triangles that are facing each other, like they're parallel to each other like this. But over here, can you see that the one side that you can see, okay? And then behind it, there's another triangle. So it's like that. So this is a triangular prism, not a triangular pyramid or any sort of pyramid for that matter.
Okay.
Okay. Hiba, now tell me. So okay, a triangular prism. So the let's come back to this question. So this one, that if a shadow is a triangle, what could be the possible shapes of the possible 3D objects of 3D shapes of that object? So the first thing you said, yes. First thing you said was a triangular prism, correct? A triangular prism will, it can give the shadow of a triangle, okay? And number two, a cone, it will give a shadow in the shape of a triangle. What else? Actually, you named one more, you mentioned one more shape in between, a pyramid, a triangular pyramid. So a triangular pyramid, if you throw light on it from the top and the pyramid is like that, the base is the triangle, then you will find that the shape of the shadow is, what is the shape of the shadow? Yeah,
Triangle.
triangle, yes. Okay. I think that's about it. Any other shapes? Any other shapes that you can think of? No. Okay. Now let's come to a rectangle. Okay. Mm,
Uh, uh, a, a cube.
yes, a cube can give that shape if you hold it a little bit slanting. Yeah. Then what else?
A book.
A
Sorry.
book. What is shape of a book? A cuboid.
Yeah.
A cuboid will give the shape of a rectangle, right? Then can you think a triangular prism can give the shadow of a rectangle?
Yeah. I think.
Yeah, because um, I don't have a prism in front of me, otherwise I would have shown you. Okay, wait. 1 minute.
Can you give me 1 minute? I'll be back.
Okay.
I'm back.
Okay. Yeah, so my question was, can a triangular prism give a shadow in the shape of a rectangle?
A cylinder.
Yeah, a cylinder, very good. What about a triangular prism?
Yeah. It's
Yeah, it can. Let me just show you the screen. Okay. Can you see this image on the right? This one. Can you see a triangular prism and can you tell me the shape of its shadow?
a rectangle.
Yeah, very good. Okay. Anything else that you think can give the shape of a shadow in the shape of a rectangle? So we have cube, cylinder,
Cuboid.
cuboid, triangular prism. What about rectangular pyramid?
It's there.
Yeah, so if you have the pyramid, the apex is over here, like the apex is over here, and the pyramid's base is like this, and you throw light from on top, then if the base is rectangle, then the shadow will be in the shape of a rectangle, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that way we're done with this question. So we're done with this is the third question is your homework, okay?
Okay.
We were doing one of the questions, I don't know where it was. Later. So whatever we did in the previous class, everything is clear to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Take a look at this one. Can you see my cursor where I'm pointing it?
Yeah, I can see.
The first image. Can you tell me how many cubes are over there?
4.
4. Okay. Now let's go to this. Okay, let's take a look at this. Okay, this is a really interesting series of images that they've provided. So let's say a person, instead of the monkey, let's say a person is standing in front of the house. So there's a house and there's 3 different views of that house. Okay, so when you're looking at it from front, it is different. When you're looking at the same thing from the side, it is completely different. When you're looking at it from the top, then you will have a completely, like, an even more different view. So um let's say, like, this is something that they use in architecture a lot. Okay, architecture and engineering in general. So this is the overall shape of the building. So the building is a 3D image, right? It's a 3D image. And the thing about 3D is that, see, it is 3D, right? So you can't draw it on a two-dimensional platform. For example, your paper. Okay, if you're drawing something on paper, paper is two-dimensional. So you cannot draw a three-dimensional something on your paper. You can try to draw it. You can try to understand it, right? So when we draw a cube, then we draw it in a certain way that the person who is looking at the shape will say, okay, they have tried to draw on a three-dimensional shape. But what we are drawing is basically, we are drawing, we are trying to draw a perception of that shape onto the paper. We are not drawing the exact shape on that paper, right? Because we
Yes.
can't, like, in a three-dimensional shape, you have the third dimension, which is going to be height, which a sheet of paper cannot provide that for you, right? Which is needed for a three-dimensional object. A sheet of paper cannot provide the height for you. That's why you can't draw it exactly as it is. So what I'm meaning to say is that even if you try to draw something, like you have tried to draw this building, okay, over here, this one. But the thing is that object, when you look at it in real life, is going to be different. You are not able to see the backside of this, right? Your brain understands that, okay, they have tried to draw a three-dimensional shape. So first tell me, so if this is a building, if this is a house, someone's house, take a look at these two, that are there on the roof of on the ceiling, that are there on the roof of the house. These two shapes, what shape are they in real life?
Rectangle.
They are rectangle in real life. But do they just ignore the rest of the image? Does this look like, take a look at this, okay, this thing. You can see my cursor.
Yeah, it looks like a square.
It doesn't look like a square, actually. It looks like something like, which is called a parallelogram. Okay, it doesn't look like a like, if you were to just ignore the rest of the image and just take a look at this particular so-called rectangle, it's supposed to be a rectangle, it doesn't look like a rectangle. Or if you were to take a look at this side of it, it, from any angle, it doesn't look like a rectangle, right? It looks like something which we call a diamond shape, right? Or we can call it again a parallelogram shape. So this does not look like a rectangle. But since, matlab, it's not a rectangle when we are drawing it on the 2D sheet of paper. But since we are seeing it in a broader context of the whole, we are saying that, okay, this is a three-dimensional figure. So that means some sides are going to get twisted. Some sides of that building are going to get a little bit, you know, they will be at a particular angle, and that's not what they are in real life. Like, it's not a rectangle. It doesn't look like a rectangle. Or we can say that if we are talking about the building, then our brain understands that, okay, that must have been a rectangle. But that shape in and of itself is not a rectangle, right? So what I'm trying to say is that when you try to draw 3D objects, you won't be able to understand the full, the object in itself. So that's why what we do, and especially that's what architects do, we have this thing called a front view, okay, and then they draw a side view separately, and then they draw a top view separately, okay. And that's why they have these 3D rendering software on their computers, okay. What that software does is that it lets you see the whole building in a three-dimensional form. Like, if you want, you can rotate the image of the building, and you can see the backside of it also, okay. Like how you watch 3D movies, it's like that. So you understood?
Yeah, I understand.
So this is the front view of the building, the side view, and the top view. Now what we need to do, let's just go to the exercise. So let's do this one. Page number 291. Try these for each solid. The three views are given. Identify for each solid the corresponding top, front, and side views. So the second, the other student has entered. I mean, he's in the waiting room, or he has entered. So Hiba,
is this a homework?
sorry.
Is this a homework?
Yes, it will be homework for you. Also, along with this whole blue box is a homework for you. And okay, so we don't have any other exercise after this. Yeah, so the whole blue box is the homework. Okay.
Okay.
And Hiba, in the next class, please try to join on time.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Bye. Lafis. Assalamu alaikum, Sami. Assalamu alaikum, Sami. Hello. I'm sorry.